Hello everyone, I am Dr. Pankaj Khirade and I welcome you all for this second lecture on the recent trends in nanomaterial synthesis. Nowadays, nanostructured materials have attracted the attention of scientists and technologists due to their diverse applications. The properties of these nanomaterials are dependent on crystallite size, the crystallized shape, and the microstructure, and all these parameters can be easily tuned by the method of synthesis and method of synthesis parameters, and therefore it is an imperative task to synthesize these materials using suitable techniques. Using that suitable technique, we can control the structural parameters and as well as its properties, that is basically physical chemical properties, to get our desired applications. So today we will see one of the technique of synthesis of nanoparticles, that is Sol-Gel synthesis method. So this is the outline of my today's presentation. First of all, we will see the details about Sol-Gel reaction, its advantages, the instrumentation required, then the synthesis procedure, then role of different synthesis parameters, then two examples of synthesizing nanoparticles using this Sol-Gel method. So basically, what is this Sol-Gel synthesis method? The Sol-Gel process is a wet chemical method which is used for the fabrication of both glassy as well as ceramic materials. It is the one of the most widely used method to synthesize nanoceramics. It is also known by several other names like Sol-Gel attocombustion, citrate nitrate combustion, green combustion, self-ignition process, and Pecini method. That means it is known by various other names also. So Sol-Gel involves basically physical as well as chemical processes. As the name indicate, Sol-Gel, it consists of two phases, that is it is a diphasic system. The first phase is sol, that is a colloidal solution, and the second phase is gel, that is it is the dispersion of molecules of a liquid within the solid medium. Also it forms a continuous polymer network. That means basically it consists of sol and gel, two phases. The sol can easily we can say that solid particle disperse in liquid media, and when this sol is heated, then gel form is taken place and gel is highly viscous. A sudden increase in distinctive viscosity is the common feature of this Sol-Gel technique. Now the steps involved in Sol-Gel synthesis, basically it involves seven stages, that is first is hydrolysis, then polycondensation, gelation, aging, drying, densification, and crystallization process. The first is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means addition of water into that particular precursor solution to form the precursor solution. This is known as hydrolysis. Then the polycondensation reaction means we are giving some heat treatment to this precursor solvent, and we are getting some dense material in which elimination of water takes place to form the polymeric network. This is known as polycondensation reaction. Again, after further heating, the gelation process takes place. The gelation process means again the polymeric network inside the solution increases. Then aging process. Aging means we are heating that material up to a few temperature to obtain the further aerogel, zerogel, and zerogels networks. Then drying process, to remove the further water inside the material. That process is known as drying process. Then densification. Densification means suppose we have get our product in the form of powder, and that powder is loose material, so we apply some pressure techniques, grind that material to form a compact material then it is known as densification material. Basically means we are reducing volume of that material. And the last process is crystallization. When we got our as prepared sample in loose form, then we grind it, and for further crystallization process we have to heat that material up to several temperature to obtain the crystallization processes. So all these stages are important while synthesizing the sample. Again, we will see about Sol-Gel, that is it uses either a chemical solution or colloidal to produce an integrated network, that is gel. Generally metal alkoxide or metal chlorides are typically precursor we can use for the synthesis. The metal alkoxides, like we can use metal nitrates as a precursor. They undergo hydrolysis and polycondensation reaction to form a colloid. The Sol progresses toward the formation of an inorganic continuous network, that is gel. The formation of metal oxide involves connecting the metal centers with oxygen or hydroxyl species, and therefore this can generating metal oxo or metal hydroxy polymers in the solution. Then after drying process, the liquid phase is completely removed and from the gel, and further thermal treatment, that is the calcination process, may be performed in order to favor the further polycondensation and crystallization process to obtain the required product. Then there are several advantages of Sol-Gel autocombustion technique over the traditional ceramic technique, that is having better homogeneity. The product obtained is highly homogeneous and uniform. The high product purity is obtained, that means the chances of contamination are very less. High crystallinity is obtained, fine crystallite size, easy to control stoichiometry of that reaction. Dopants can be easily introduced into the final product. That means if you want to dope or substitute some of the material, then you can easily add using the precursor solution. Then another applications, it requires simple equipment, that means no costly equipments are needed. Basically it is a low processing temperature. That means when we synthesize the material by solid state reaction, you requires high temperature, that means above 1000 degrees centigrade. But when we synthesize using this wet chemical Sol-Gel method, only few hundreds, that is 400, 500, 600 degrees centigrade is required to form your product. Then another advantage is uniform phase distribution is obtained. The ultrafine nanoparticle size is obtained using this method. Then better morphological control can be takes place in this reaction. Therefore we can choose this method for the synthesis. Then instruments required. Generally you require chemicals, that is raw materials, a fuel which is acting as an oxidizing agent. Fuel, for example citric acid, you can use for synthesis. Any other fuels which contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen species also we can use, we can see later. Then distilled water or deionized water is used for dissolving your precursor solutions. Then a magnetic stirrer with a hot heating coil is needed. Again, for maintaining the pH of the solution you require pH meter. Then some glasswares like beakers, spatulas and cottons are necessary for this Sol-Gel method. This diagram represents the Sol-Gel autocombustion procedure. First of all, we take metal nitrates, then dissolve in minimum amount of distilled water. Then metal nitrate to fuel ratio is taken depending on number of oxidizing and reducing species in the material. Then fuel is added into that homogeneous solution. Then again the mixture is continuously stirred and heated for few degrees to obtain the homogeneous solution. Then pH of the solution is maintained using species like ammonia solution or sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide solutions so as to get neutral samples. Then after continuous heating for 4 to 5 hours, the viscous gel is formed. Then further heating for a few hours, we get the combustion reaction and the ashes form. Then this ash is collected and grounded using a pestle mortar, and that final product is now sintered at 600 to 700 depending on requirement in a muffle furnace for sintering purpose, and you will get the final product, and that final product can be used for several characterizations techniques. This diagram represents the sol and gel form networks. The gel is highly viscous, as you see in the first diagram. The gel is highly viscous, and after continuous heating, the gel is transformed into autocombustion synthesis. That is the second figure. Then the third figure represents the final product. That means the powder is now completely burned. You can use it for crushing and further procedure. Now, what are the changing trends in wet chemical synthesis methods? How researchers are developing this sol gel method to get different results? Then the first is the influence of fuel oblique complexion agent ratio. That means this fuel to metal nitrate ratio also matters when we synthesize our samples. Again, combustion process, chemical additives to facilitate the autocombustion reaction. Some of the additives like ethylene glycol or ethanol is introduced in the sample to make this combustion process better. Again, we will get the different result. Now, third component is the influence of atmosphere. That means if you do this procedure in different atmosphere like a nitrogen, oxygen or a neutral species, then you will get the different results. Then heating mechanism is also one of the vital component when we synthesize by sol gel technique. Heating at a different temperature, 600, 700, 800, it will again give different crystallite size, again give different properties and different application. That means heating mechanism also important factor. Then effect of pH means when we add some ammonium hydroxide solution or any base solution to our solution, then pH of the total composition changes, and that effect of pH also becomes different study. That means using these different parameters, you can control your crystallite size, and different properties may be obtained from that different techniques. The first one is the influence of fuel. We can also say complexion agent. We can use different fuels. The best known example is citric acid, that is C6H8O7, L-ascorbic acid, oleic acid, hydrazine, urea, acrylic acid, acetic acid, oleic acid, etc. These are the most commonly used fuels in the sol gel reaction. These are the chemical formula, like for citric acid C6H8O7, urea, NH2CO, NH2, etc. We can use any of this fuel during the sol gel reaction. It is important to select appropriate additives for phase formation. That means depending on chemical properties of your precursor, you can add several additives like ethylene glycol or ethanol to become this combustion process easy. Fuel agents can effectively chelate the metal ions with varying ionic sizes, resulting in homogeneity. That means it is acting as an oxidizing agent which can chelate your metal nitrate species. A good fuel should react non-violently and also do not produce some toxic gases. and therefore some of the researchers are nowadays using naturally fuels, that is honey, coconut water, lemon juice. We can use some plant extract as a fuel in your synthesis reaction to obtain eco-friendly material or eco-friendly reaction that could not produce the hazardous and toxic gases during the reaction. All the fuels differ in the complex ability, reducing power, and the amounts of gases that generate. Now we will see one example of barium titanate nanocrystals synthesized using Sol-Gel autocombustion technique. First of all, we will see what is this perovskite structured material. These perovskite structured materials have the chemical formula AbO3, where A and B are the two cations and O is the anion that bonds to the both. Simple cubic structure is possessed by this perovskite materials, where A can be cations like barium, strontium, calcium. The B can be tetravalent cations like titanium, zirconium, and O can be oxygen, nitrogen, or halides. But we will see only oxides in this study. These perovskite structure are widely investigated materials, and it can be prepared in various forms like thin film, bulk, or nanoparticles depending on its application. It is having many peculiar properties like multiferroic nature. That means it is having ferroelectric as well as ferromagnetic ordering. Also separately, it possesses ferroelectric, ferromagnetic, superconductive properties, fluorescence effect, also thermoelectric power. There are lots of applications of perovskite materials, like it can be used in capacitors, laser applications, spintronic devices. It is used in recording applications, photoelectrochemical cells, some non-volatile memories, and many more. Now we will see how to synthesize this barium titanate material. First of all, we will require some raw materials, that is barium nitrate as a source for barium. Then tetrabutyl titanate is taken over here as a precursor for titanium ion, because titanium nitrate is not available. Therefore, we have taken this tetrabutyl titanate. Secondly, as a fuel, we have taken this citric acid, then ethanol solution, then ammonium hydroxide solution. So these are the required chemicals for Sol-Gel reaction. Now before arranging the reaction, you need to perform the calculations to know the exact proportion of your precursor solutions. So I have taken the precursor barium nitrate, tetrabutyl titanate, citric acid, and this BaTiO3 is my final product. So I have written the molecular weight of barium nitrate, that is 261.3368 below it. Then tetrabutyl titanate, it is having 340.32. Then citric acid, that is 192.124. And this product, that is the molecular weight of Ba into Ti into 3 times oxygen, it will becomes 233.164. Therefore now I want to know the exact amount of barium nitrate. So here I will divide reactant divided by product molecular weight, that is amount of barium nitrate is equal to this 261.3368 divided by the product. It will give you amount 1.12082. Similarly, for amount of tetrabutyl titanate, again the reactant divided by the product molecular weight, and it will give the result. Similarly, for citric acid, reactant divided by the product molecular weight. And now this result is for 1 grams. If you want to synthesize for 10 grams, then multiply this result by 10. That means you are getting your output powder of about 10 grams. Again, one more component, that is metal nitrate to fuel ratio. That means in different materials, different metal nitrate to fuel ratio is used, generally 1:3 or 1:4. Then you have to multiply by that particular figure to this citric acid amount. I have maintained 1:4, therefore I have to multiply 4 to the citric acid quantity, that is become 32.9594 gram. Now this is the flow chart of synthesis of sol gel at a combustion technique. Here I have taken two different solutions. That is, first of all, tetrabutyl titanate is dissolving ethanol, and citric acid is also dissolved in 100 ml water. Here I have taken ethanol because this tetrabutyl titanate is not dissolved directly in water. Therefore, ethanol is used as a solvent. Then after combining these three quantities, the solution is formed. That solution is heated at a few degrees centigrade. Then pH is maintained up to 8 using the ammonia solution, and this is marked as a solution A. Similarly, in a separate beaker, the barium nitrate in 100 ml water is separately dissolved. Then the homogeneous solution of solution A and B is mixed together. Then again the pH is maintained to 7 using the ammonia liquid to maintain the neutrality of the reaction. Further heating for 4 hours at 110 degree, the gel formation takes place. Then after further heating, the sol gel atto-combustion reaction takes place. Here the gel is showing yellowish nature. Then continuous heating, the burnt ash looking like this one. This burnt ash is now crushed using a pestle mortar, and then it is heated at 900 degrees centigrade for 5 hours. Then you will get your final product, and that final product of barium titanate powder can be used for further characterization processes. Now we will see second example. Suppose if you want to synthesize nickel ferrite, that is, it is one of the type of spinel ferrite, which is also a technologically very important material because it is having lots of application in biomedical as well as electronic industry. So we will see how to synthesize this nickel ferrite. Again, for nickel ferrite, I will require nickel nitrate, ferric nitrate, citric acid as a fuel, and this is product, that is NiFe2O4, that is nickel ferrite. Again, I am written nickel ferrite molecular weight. Then ferric nitrate, again here Fe2, therefore I have to multiply by 2 to the ferric nitrate, therefore 2 times that of molecular weight of ferric nitrate. And citric acid, and similarly the product, that is nickel ferrite molecular weight. Then I want to find nickel ferrite amount, therefore again the molecular weight of nickel nitrate divided by the molecular weight of total product, that is 234.343, it will gives the nickel ferrite amount, that is 0.7796. Again for ferric nitrate, divide reactant divide by the product and you will get the result. Similarly for citric acid, then we are getting this result for 1 gram. If you want to produce your output product for 10 grams, then multiply by 10. Then metal nitrate to fuel ratio, generally for ferrite 1:3 is taken, therefore you have to multiply by 3 to the citric acid composition, and therefore it will gives you the stoichiometric proportions of respective precursors. Again, this is represent flow chart. You have to take ferric nitrate, nickel nitrate and citric acid to dissolve separately in 100 ml distilled water. Then after continuous heating and stirring, homogeneous mixture of that respective precursors takes place. You have to mix all these three mixtures, then continuous heating and stirring, the gel formation takes place. You have to maintain pH using the ammonia solution, the same procedure as I explained earlier. Then the dried gel is formed. Continuous heating produces a combustion reaction and produces the powder sample. That powder sample is again collected, it is grounded, and it is heated at a high temperature to obtain the crystallization process and to obtain your required final product, that is nickel ferrite. That means using this simple procedure you can synthesize any oxide. Similarly, if you want to produce cobalt nitrate, then you can synthesize by using cobalt nitrate precursor and produce the cobalt ferrite sample. Then after synthesizing the material, you have to characterize by different techniques to confirm the phase purity, and different chemical and physical analysis like XRD, FTIR, SEM, TEM, then optical, magnetic, electrical, dielectric properties, and many more depending on its applications. Thank you.